What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 35 of News Report with Zyori and Hyper. Josh, you feeling fresh today?
I'm feeling amazing today. It's been a pretty nice week overall.
Yeah, the weather's been nice, that's for sure.
The warm weather is coming, you see. It's
I know.
almost summer.
I didn't realize when summer actually is. It's not for another month, but the pool's getting open soon.
I know, people are graduating. I know everyone's,
I know.
this is the time.
I've been seeing it on Facebook. Everyone's like, this is such an amazing day. Oh, God, I'm kind of like, I remember graduating.
I remember graduating.
It's more of a sad day than a good day, I think. That's the end of your ability to have an absurd amount of free time. The amount of free time that everybody should have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I miss it, man. Well, I don't miss it now because I have nothing to do. I'm on vacation. This week, I'm a little out of it. I've been on a staycation for this, past 5 or 6 days. I've done a little bit. I've probably done a good solid 10 hours work over the past 5 days.
Nice.
Doing what I can. So I was a little out of touch this week. Josh is going to carry us on the news. We're going to play ARAMs again on the low accounts because we got stomped so hard last week. Well, we almost made it a comeback, but
Almost. Maybe this week. This is our week, AC.
this is our week.
It seems to be going like trends. I feel like we've lost like the past 2 or 3.
It would be cool to track it and see how we're trending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right, so before we queue up, just take a glance at the market. The S&P, oh, boy, we're just up and up. Our green line and our red line are positive, and that means people are making money.
Yeah, you see, everything is going crazy right this week. The past, ever since January, basically. It's like it's become just the same story now. S&P making new highs every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Friday it closed at all-time highs again for the S&P 500, and not sure, I think I'm pretty sure the Dow was up there, and the NASDAQ is still chugging along, too.
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm glad I didn't pull my bulk of funds that are in the market because when we first started hitting all-time highs, I was just like, uh-oh, maybe it's going to stop. There's nothing stopping this train, Josh. This train just keeps on rolling.
Yeah, and it's been going around the world, too, which is a really good sign. The German DAX is what their major exchange is called, and it hit all-time highs.
Wow, that's
From
good.
2007 or wherever the previous high was before the crash.
Yay,
So it's
Germany.
definitely something that's spreading around the world, which is a really good sign too,
Yeah.
just for everything in general.
We're
And
going to
people are
pick up
still
the pieces, Greece. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the Germany's like outperforming everyone. They have the really strong markets, and then the Japan, the Nikkei is what the Japanese exchange is called, and they are doing amazing. And there is questionability on whether their inflation is hurting other countries
I'm sure
and
it
helping
is.
them a lot.
I'm sure it is, Josh.
Hmm.
I believe it. I hate inflation. You know this.
Yeah, but it's making Japan do really well overall.
Yeah.
And they're questioning on whether it's like something that they should allow Japan to do. It's like they have this global banking meeting where like all the big bankers get together from around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically just said you can keep on doing it, but we're going to closely monitor to see the effects. It's just a lot of the policies that came out of trying to boost the stock market up after it crashed haven't really been done before. Like we have quantitative easing in the United States, which has caused all the rates, like you see your mortgage rates and basically lending rates for banks is close to 0%. I think banks are actually 0%.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bond rates are like 1%. So, and this is all because the government is buying like $60 billion of bonds a month,
Mm-hmm.
which is causing the interest rate to drop. And so that's why all your long-term rates are low, and it basically forces everyone to get in the market.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, that seems to be what's happening, Josh.
Yep, that's what's happening here.
The market is in good shape. It really does make me happy because it was so shitty for so long. The question is, how long is this ride gonna last, Josh?
That is the question on everyone's mind right now because this basically is surprising everyone. It's pretty funny because no one can believe how long this run's been going and how well the market's been doing. And people really don't believe in it that much, which is kind of a good thing because bubbles form when everyone believes in it and everyone throws their money in at once.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden something happens and everyone pulls their money out at once, and that causes your little crashes that happen.
Right.
So this one, it's still kind of like diverse. People like it, and some people hate it. It's not like everyone's trying to pile in all at once.
Mm-hmm. I see. Well, that's good to hear. Josh, I've never played Shaco. How do you build him?
That's not a hero I like for this game. You should re-roll.
I don't know if I want to do that. Should I?
Yeah, probably. I've never. Oh, that's a good hero.
All right, I got Galio. Gargoyle.
Got that poke.
Poke, poke. Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Plus, I know you like that hero.
I do like Galio. He's fun. So, Josh, what do we have to talk about this week? We don't have a huge amount of news, but let's start it off with this. College debt bubbles mimics housing bubble. I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where college debt now is over $1 trillion, something like that. It's outpacing to a lot of the other debt, like credit card, your home loans and everything.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where college has just gone astronomically out the roof of prices. And I know they're trying to pass this bill that Elizabeth Warren put up, which would basically lower the interest rates on college loans to close what banks borrow. Since I'm pretty sure if you borrow college loans, I think the rates are around 6%. It depends on when you got it, but it's around 6-7%. And these banks
not
are
terribly terrible.
I mean, like the whole thing is you're investing in education, and many of the tech leaders have said that there aren't enough highly skilled people to employ. It's like this weird big thing where we have this relatively high unemployment rate, but there are a lot of big companies that say we really can't find really good programmers and engineers to fill these positions.
Right.
And so
it's trying. Like when you have a high wealth industrial area, but not enough high wealth Sims, Josh.
I know. But yeah, so there's this. If only we were playing Sim City.
Oh.
But yeah, so there's this move to make interest rates on student loans very low. Possibly the same rates banks are borrowing their loans, since basically the banks borrowing money from the government, and then they're lending the money out to you at like 10 times the interest rate that they're paying.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice. That'll help. But I think the fundamental problem is that we shouldn't need so many loans. Colleges should be more subsidized or at the very least cheaper.
That's definitely a big part of the issue too.
That's a bigger part of the issue.
But then you have to restructure, I don't know, like how colleges, like...
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger solution.
It's definitely bigger, because then you have to constrict, and then this whole, like, private and public institutions, because you can probably force public institutions. Private is not so much. So it's one of those really tricky things that
it's a sticky wicket.
But yeah, that's part of the reason. Low interest rates is part of the reason why our whatever U.S. debt isn't spiraling out of control. It's because the borrowing rate is so low that the interest isn't killing us as much as it would be like 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
When the borrowing rate was so high, the interest was going to outpace anything that we could grow out of. But now the interest that you accrue is actually kind of low because of the low interest rates that are just around the world for borrowing.
So what happens when this bubble bursts? Are we going to have just a whole bunch of people defaulting on their student loans and they're going to tank the economy? Is that what's going to happen?
It's really interesting on what may happen, because as far as I know, banks actually don't have the majority of student loans. Like banks only have probably, I think I saw a number like between 20 and 30% of student loans are through banks, and then the rest is through the government.
Oh.
So if you were to have a bunch of defaults, it would affect the government, which I'm not exactly sure what would happen in these cases. It wouldn't be where the banks crash, because the banks are publicly traded. Their balances would go down, and we see this reflect in the stock market. I'm not sure exactly how it would go down if the government defaulted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or had some kind of this huge imbalance, because
they would just tack it on to the
they technically debt. Just like extend the debt limit.
Yeah,
the debt ceiling.
So I guess it wouldn't do anything besides do what Obama's already doing to our fine nation. It's not looking so good for Obama, Josh. I have to say, everywhere I've turned and looked, I did watch one episode of The Daily Show this week, and he's just like, it's not looking good for Obama. He's talking about how all the crazies like Hannity and all those guys now actually have an excuse to make fun of Obama.
Oh, I guess that goes right. Our next thing is that's because of this IRS scandal that kind of just broke out, and how the Benghazi thing has been going on for like a year now.
Nixonian, as they're calling this IRS scandal, Josh. It's bad news bears.
Yeah, it is really bad news because it basically gave every single conspiracy theorist like another thing to latch onto, that the government's out to get you and everything. Because in this case, the IRS was caught auditing people for like tax exemption status for and they targeted people or groups that had the word patriot or Tea Party. These were the two main ones that came out. I'm assuming there were more, but those are the main two ones because they're very right-wing side.
Right, and they're very vocal as well. They're a loud group.
Yep, extremely loud. And so this has got everyone in Congress up in arms. And the president was on air, and he came out and said, this is not something we're going to tolerate and everything. And within this has all happened in just like a week, a little over a week.
Yeah.
And like the head of the IRS has stepped down. People have been fired. They're having a trial.
Yeah.
So. Well,
some of the other issues, what you said about Benghazi, now it's sort of starting to look like the Republicans were on to something a little bit. To some degree, not as much as they would like to claim, but basically the Obama administration's plan to get rid of that sticky wicket was to say, well, we didn't know about it. I heard about this on the news thing, and then they said the exact same thing about this IRS issue. So now they can kind of say, well, then where the hell are you guys? Shit's going down, and you're not even paying attention. So I don't know. It's looking rough for Obama.
Out of the Benghazi thing, like from what I could tell from the hearings, it seems like they just knew that the administration, the whole process, knew even less than what they were going to show or what they were saying they knew.
Yeah, what I think what the Benghazi issue has basically come down to is that. Oh God, I can't focus on this Benghazi bullshit and this intense fighting here, Josh.
Yeah, I know. It's not stop fighting.
Who is that? Is that Rengar? Rengar just kicked the bucket.
I know.
Basically what it came down to, though, is the general guy at that Benghazi post claims that he had called for help several times, and he knew that shit was getting bad, and he asked for help, and he was blocked by Washington, and he couldn't get through, or the person that he gave the information to said, no, the United States doesn't want to get involved in this, and they threw the memo away. Whatever, the big question is, was that Hillary Clinton? Did she know about it and say we're not going to help them? Or did she actually not know anything, and the person before her in the chain of command made the mistake and didn't clue her in? And then that same logic has been stretched to Obama, and they're trying to figure that out. And the question is, all right, well, where did that breakdown occur? Did these people actually need help, and did somebody on our side really screw the pooch in denying them that help because they didn't think, for some political motivation or something that wasn't, not giving it in the hands of the right person to make the decision. So in that regard, I think there is somewhat of a I was going to say diabolical. What's the word I'm looking for? Debacle. That's the word. Kind of afoot because who screwed the pooch there? If 4 people were killed just because somebody wanted to make a political statement, at the very least, they need to be fired. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, the big part of what I understood out of this was that this is not the first time where people say we need more money or we need help. The big problem is Congress doesn't actually fund those. There have been bills to extend the financial aid basically that we give to these outposts we have, because Benghazi is not the only one. But Congress has shut it down, and from my knowledge, that's a heavy Republican thing that they vote down because they don't want to spend more money, because it inevitably does cost more money to give these posts more help in these cases. And it's not, I don't think it's a unique situation where one place or outpost says we need help now, because they're all technically in danger zones.
Yeah.
But so it's one of those things where you can't, I don't know, it's one of those things where you call for help, but you can't really give help when in general it'd be, beneficial just to give a lot more money to all the outposts in
Well,
general.
I think the difference here is that in many cases you're right. A lot of people are everyone needs help, but this case is more of there's like an emergency where they needed real backup. Like there's got to be a level beyond just like, yeah, we could use more guns, more supplies, where no, there's an emergency, we got to call for backup. You know, there's like levels of distress, and I think this one has been played off as a very low stress, just like, yeah, you know, you're in a danger zone, what's going to happen. But from what the report was saying is that the guy that called for help was actually saying that this is like huge priority. People are dying if we don't get like real assistance up in this bitch. And yeah, there was no. The question is really whoever. Obviously, he was trying to communicate that to somebody specific, and somewhere it's supposed to be received. You know, who makes that decision to say, all right, you know what, we need to go in here. We need to, you know, move this set of mobile troops to you know, prevent this terrorist strike or whatever it may be. Who makes that call? And I don't know. From what I've read, the question is who was in charge of that call, and did that person drop the ball? And
yeah, but like I said,
Clinton?
even the Daily Show, they say this aren't unique. Like, they say how they picked Benghazi because there have been deaths in far more places. Like, they said Benghazi, out of like all the places, accounted for just like a small percentage of where people actually got injured or killed in this situation. This is like not a complete unique situation. It happens on a yearly basis. It's just this one got blown out of proportion, mainly just because they believe the Republicans just focused on it so much. It's not a unique situation by any means.
I don't know. I saw a clip on O'Reilly or somewhere else that talked about exactly what Jon Stewart was saying and pointed out. I should watch the clip again. I don't know to try to find it.
Yeah,
that kind of said the complete opposite, and it sounded from
well,
what
they
I
said
listened
the
to it,
opposite. They said
convincing.
I know what you're referring to because they actually referred it back to the Daily Show, where I think he brought out a list that said most of these places were somewhere in the Middle East, and he brought out a list, something that Jon Stewart referenced on the Daily Show, and I think it was like 8 out of 54 was the actual number on the list of places that were like in danger, had these incidents.
Yeah.
And so like 8 out of 54 being most isn't really good assessment, and so that was kind of, I don't know, that's not very accurate at all.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't know, I can't really trust these people at Fox because they are so far right wing, and they're the ones blowing this like thing out of proportion.
I don't know. I mean, they definitely are, but I still think there's some merit into the big question is Hillary Clinton the person that one person that was in charge of said decision making that dropped the ball, because it's pretty significant for her if that's the case. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really have as much of a problem with them pushing it now, the way it's sort of been spun. And like I said, now that the other thing has come about with the IRS, it's just like Obama can only claim dumb to so many things before it's just like, all right, dude, you need to fucking wake up or something. I don't know what you're doing if all this shit's going wrong and you're not paying any attention.
I mean, it's one of those things where like, how far can you blame management, basically for what's happening? I mean, it's pretty funny on how like this got blown out of proportion, and you're trying to I guess pin the blame on Obama when like no one ever tried to pin the blame on Bush when we went after weapons of mass destruction, and there turned out to be nothing, despite this huge campaign that everyone believed that there was.
People did go after Bush, just not the mainstream media people. I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really
the
side
whole reason
with
this gained traction because of the mainstream media.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's not really Obama's fault. It's not to say that this particular situation is Obama's fault, but I think a lot of people would agree that the garbage that happened with George Bush was his fault. I mean, the right-wingers won't admit it, but I mean, it seems pretty common sense that that's the case these days. I don't know. It's a pretty stiff argument.
Oh no, our team is leaving, AC.
Oh no, are we really down a person?
We're down like 2 people now.
Oh no. Wait, how did they get experience then? Does everybody get experience?
Oh yeah, you get Paz experience.
Oh man. That sucks. I was wondering why we were getting whooped so hard. I can't pay attention and talk at the same time. I didn't even notice that our team was floundering so bad.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hitting buttons and kind of just because I'm a right-click hero, being ADC.
That's true.
You basically just have to spam, get like Athene's Holy Grail that gives you like infinite mana essentially, and just spam abilities.
Yeah, I just
I
don't
think
do
we're
enough
going
damage
stuff.
right now. That's the problem.
No!
If only I had my ult, I could have taunted him into the tower.
I'm pretty sure team left us though.
That's no good. That's a shitty game. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The fundamental problem is caused by the Republicans. They pass all the stuff to get these people there, and then they won't pass any of the bills to support them because they don't want to spend any more money, but they were the ones that put them in the position to need that additional money in the first place. So I definitely recognize that there's a fundamental flaw in how the Republicans go about their business, but in terms of just Benghazi as an isolated case, I don't know. I'm not as upset about them pushing it, partially because I don't really like Hillary Clinton that much. She seems like a spotty dog, and I honestly am skeptical that she has more to do with it than she's... Like, so far, all of the key figures have just sort of been, oh, I don't know, I don't know, yeah, I don't know anything, don't include me in. It's like, alright, well, who is not cluing you in? Who's the guy that's supposed to be cluing you in? Somebody, just fucking fire somebody, man.
I mean, they did fire someone. They fired, whatever you call it, the other Rice. It's another racist person. Had Rice in their name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that up. I mean, I don't really care about it that much.
She was like the
but I don't have a
secretary to
problem
Hillary Clinton, I'm pretty sure. And it was a pretty big position. And she was supposed to be the Secretary of State nominee that the Republicans shot down.
I really hope Hillary does not become president in the next election. I don't think that she will, but I think it would be scary if she did.
Why? I mean,
she's
I don't
slimy
think...
to me, man. I don't know. She's been involved in a number of debacles.
I don't know. I don't find anything too crazy about Hillary versus any other politician. I think
I don't particularly like her.
You don't like her.
No, I don't. I would not vote for her. Although it depends who the Republicans are going to chalk up. I really don't know who the Republicans are gonna pull for in.
Oh, that was pretty funny. It was not Fox. It was like CNN or someone this week was like showing all the possible candidates for 2016,
Yeah.
and they were like a little over 1,000 days before the first primary.
A little over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Peace, Sona.
Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. I saw an article about it too. I was looking at like the list, and I was just like, wow, this is a really shoddy list, man. You guys are you guys are in bad bombing, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything turns out.
I'm voting for Rand Spear.
Rand Paul or whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably vote for him. I'm not gonna lie. I'll vote for him in the primary at least.
Sounds good. I'll just let these minions destroy our base so this game can end.
I'd vote for Rand Paul though. I mean, he's better than most of the other people that are going to be in the primary.
I don't know. I have to see how people actually turn out once they start running for president, since that seems to change a lot of people's views.
Yeah.
So I really can't trust what people say now. Well, I
Hillary, man.
People.
That was terrible. That was awful.
I reported them. Don't worry.
Good. Lysandra, yeah, she was pretty bad.
She was pretty bad.
Let's see here. Leaving the game. Damn it. Well, I see. The problem is I don't want to. We don't have a lot of news. I don't know if we have enough to get through a full another game. And last week we played a super long game.
I know we did.
So I'm nervous. What do we do here?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do we go on with the news? Or do we play another one?
I bet we just power through some of this news and then cut it and then just play another one.
Okay. And then we'll pick up on some of the extension points if you want to.
Let's see here. So what is this? Coffee with the Apple CEO closes at $610,000. That is crazy.
Yeah, that was just to have coffee with Tim Cook for yeah. And I'm pretty sure all the money went to charity. It's kind of the same thing where Warren Buffett does the same thing every year.
Oh, okay.
where you get to have lunch with Warren Buffett, and it like I think it goes up on eBay, and that got insanely. I think that was somewhere around the same price. I know one year like Jay-Z paid for it or whatever.
Wow.
I think like 200 something thousand dollars.
So
I think at the
how
time.
long is coffee with him? Is it like
I think it's like either 30 minutes or an hour. It's some decent amount of time.
that's it?
It's not like 5 minutes, okay.
So what do you get out of it? What do you get to do? What do you ask? Like what would you ask him? Like I don't even know what I would say to him. I'd just be like, "Sup, dude?"
That's what I was going to ask you. What would you say to Tim Cook if you have the leader of Apple, one of the I guess the second largest company in the world right now?
I mean, like how do you feel you can
How
live up to
small can
Steve
you make an
Jobs?
iPod?
How does it feel to live up to Steve Jobs? Do you feel like your company has run out of innovation now that Steve Jobs is dead? Like, yeah, why have you ever thought about not being so expensive?
I mean, it's so expensive.
Have you ever thought about making friends with Adobe?
Yeah, it's like you ever think about shrinking your profit margins
Yeah,
just a little bit, you know?
yeah. I'd ask him that. You ever think about, I don't know, not having shitty products? I don't like Apple stuff. You ever thought about making friends with Windows?
Making friends with Windows.
I don't know what I would ask him. Hey man, can you get me a job?
That sounds like a good question. I work at Apple. They have a pretty nice place.
Yeah, I'd work there for sure.
I'd,
I'd have to
I
learn how to
would,
use their
I
shitty
would
operating
convert to
system though,
Apple. Yeah, I convert to Apple if they gave me a job
and a computer.
and a computer.
If they gave me all the Apple shit, I would use it, but it's too expensive to buy.
Yeah, definitely is, in my opinion. And it's not customizable. That's the biggest thing I don't like about it. Even though they do have pretty good support and everything.
Nah, fuck them. Fuck 'em. All right.
Oh, poor
Well,
Apple.
I don't know. They're not worth it in my opinion. I mean, what do you get out of it? Just get to ask his opinion about stuff. You just get to interview him. I'd fucking film it. That's what I'd do. I'd film it and put it on YouTube, and then I'd make money. Although you'd probably only make a couple $100 if you just paid 600K.
Yeah, you pay. Yeah, you
That's a lot of money, man.
just paid 610K.
That
Goes
is
to
so
charity.
much money.
Good cause. But yeah, at that point,
Wow. 86 bids too. Wow. I would have started it off with 5,000.
I know that would have been a good. Yeah, I put my money in there. I put 5,000, even though I would never. I don't know. Would you pay even 5,000,
Maybe.
or would you just throw it in there just because you knew you got a bid, just to get it like in
Yeah,
the part of the
probably the
action,
latter. Yeah.
feel part of the action,
Yeah.
partly like the Powerball that's coming up.
I bid on it. Hell yeah.
The Powerball. You got your lottery tickets, AC?
No, I don't.
Oh, I know my mom said go out and get some lottery tickets, and I know my dad got a few because it's
Oh.
$600 million. It's like the second largest at the moment.
It's huge, dude. If you win, will you buy me a car? A Lamborghini?
Lamborghini. Yeah, I'd buy it, but then you have to pay insurance on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's through the roof.
Oh no. So,
Yeah, and a Lamborghini. That's especially dangerous.
oh dude, I'd be cruising. I get out the door over. No, actually, I don't want you to buy me a DeLorean. That's
Oh my God, I would buy a DeLorean because that's way cheaper and
way cooler. I would fucking rock the DeLorean. I would want two though. I would want one that we could keep in original
yeah,
condition and store somewhere, and then one that we
one
would
that I
like.
could put in my family room, and then one I could
Yeah. Well,
you know,
no.
go-
One that we could keep in like the original shit, and then a new one where we replace all the rubber and stuff so it actually drives well. You know, like same engine but totally replace all the
same
shit that wears
body.
out.
And you probably don't even want that engine. Get that engine out of there. Probably
Yeah.
just want the same like basic body of a DeLorean.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Or
So
do you
that's
really
what we
want the
need
old
though.
engine?
We need the original, and then we need another one. But I want the original odometer.
The original odometer.
Fuck yeah! It has like a
That's
maximum of 90 on it, dude.
90.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. DeLoreans are the shit. I've always wanted to buy a DeLorean
They
so
are
bad.
shit. They are shit.
They are awesome, dude. They are the coolest car. Yeah, let's look at DeLoreans on eBay, dude. Here's
Oh
a
my
red DeLorean for $5,000, Josh. I'm about to bid on it right now.
That sounds pretty cheap, actually.
Well, it has 8 days left, so it'll probably go up. Here's one with 31,000 miles on it. Buy it now for 16 grand.
That doesn't even sound that bad. But
I
like I
know.
said, it's basically just have it, then It just basically sits outside or in
Nah,
your
dude, that's
garage.
why. That's the thing. I would want to drive it, but I wouldn't want to like
If you
once you
drove
start.
it, then you have to get like insurance on it, which would probably cost more than the car.
I don't give a shit. I'd still drive it. Do you know how badass that would be? Dude, imagine you just pick a girl up on a date with a DeLorean. You roll up just like,
Oh
ew,
God.
hop
Hey,
in.
I'm in a DeLorean.
Josh, it's got a V6 real wheel drive. Oh, it's a manual transmission though.
Oh,
I have to learn how to drive a stick. It'd be rough. Let's see here. Here's buy now for 30 grand. It's only got 5,000 miles on it though. So that,
gee, what else would you do with your 600 million? Out
after
of
I bought a
curiosity,
DeLorean, I'd buy a new.
besides a DeLorean,
I'd buy a
besides
new
the army of
computer.
DeLoreans,
I would buy the beefiest computer possible.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. That's the first thing I would do. It's like I would buy the freaking like 3 video cards. I have like so many monitors.
Yeah, dude. I would do the exact same. I would buy as many video cards. Like I'd have at least 4 or 5 monitors. Like I'd have I'd try to get like a $2,000 processor.
I would try to get. I'm pretty sure you could do more than try, but you
And
could.
then I get one of those motherboards that has 2 processor ports, so I get 2 of the most expensive processors I could find with like 32 gigs of RAM. And I don't know, man. I don't even know what I would do with it. I would just enjoy how fast it is. I,
Yeah, that's not even a lot of money too. It probably at the end would be way under.
yeah.
You still have a shit ton of money left. That's
Yeah, dude,
my
I wouldn't even
point.
make a dent into this 6 million or six
Yeah, I know. It's
hundred
like
million.
my 2 things would be like the computer and I get a really nice car.
I
And
get the
then besides
DeLorean.
that, I don't even know what I would do with the
Well,
rest.
then I would buy a
Can't even
house.
imagine.
I would buy a nice house that I could afford. I'd probably wait. How is it? 6 million or 600?
600.
600? Oh shit! Oh Jesus, dude. Okay, I would
Yeah,
buy.
there's the possibility it could go to $1 billion by Saturday by the time it actually rolls around.
Okay, all right. So I would buy a house straight up. I'd probably drop like 400K on a house, totally pay it off, and yeah, it still wouldn't even make a dent in the money. After that, I don't know. I'd probably travel around
You could
for
buy
a
a
while.
company. You could buy a couple companies probably with that amount
Oh
of money.
yeah. All right. I'd buy Pandora,
I buy Pandora.
and maybe LinkedIn. Um, yeah, you're right. No, I would buy a company or two, um, and then I'd probably
Hostile
travel.
takeover.
I'd probably start a blog.
I sort of
Um, I'd probably host some esports tournament. You know what I'd probably do? I would probably host some Han tournaments just to stick it to them. I'd host $1 million Han tournament,
the $1 million Han tournament.
and I
Oh
would be the
my
lead
God.
caster, and I would just do it to just be like, all right, fuck everything. I'm the caster, bitches. That would be so much fun, Josh. Blow everybody out of the water.
I'm the caster.
I'm the caster, bitches. And I'd probably want to meet Patrick Stewart. I feel like I could rig that up.
Patrick Stewart, and I feel like that's possible.
I,
I'm
I
sure with all those celebrities, they have their own charities. You could just donate some money to his charity and be like, meet him.
Dude, that's what I'd do. I'd be like, yo, Patty Stew, let's do it. So then I'd go meet all these cool people and interview them and then put it on my website, and have a really popular website. That's what I would do.
Sounds good.
That's exactly what I would do. And then I'd just live off the money and do whatever the fuck I want. Anytime I saw
I
something
know.
cool, I would just buy it. I would order pizzas delivery and tip the pizza guy $50.
I would order pizza and then give him $50 as tip.
I've always wanted to do that, but I'm not going to do it until I have like $1 million.
Sounds about right.
So, wow, that would be fun.
But
What
yeah,
else? So what's this
gotta
deal
buy,
about?
gotta buy a ticket. Gotta
Got
buy a
your
ticket.
ticket?
See.
That's good, man. So last thing I want to chat about here is we've talked about Google Glass. I think every episode for the past 5. Why not keep up the trend? What's going on with the Google I/O?
Yeah, that's their big Google conference where they unveiled a new Google Maps and they redid the Google Plus layout. And they introduced, or I'm not sure if they did or plan to, but they are going to introduce a streaming music system that's like Spotify. They compared it to
Hmm.
that's subscription based, where yeah, basically just stream a bunch of music.
Let's see what's new
Um,
on Google Plus.
it looks completely different, to say the least. If you've seen the old compared to the new, it's got more of a Pinterest, Twitter kind of aspects. It's kind of weird. Google's kind of like over the course of Google Plus is like incorporated all the features from all like the social websites. It's like it's got hashtag. You can hashtag stuff from Google Plus. The layouts now like Pinterest. You can like
You
link
know,
the
I'm about
YouTube
to start
videos
using
in it.
Google Plus. Now that I'm looking at it, why don't I just start using this? Can I
I
make
mean,
a Zyori circle that people can hang
I
out in?
started using it because they you can do everything because everyone has a Gmail nowadays. You can do Google Hangouts. Google Chat is now like browser or whatever goes through everything. Um,
So if you have a Gmail, that means you have a Google Plus account, basically.
I think they basically created one for you. Yeah, is how they I think they force people to, even though you may not have anything on it. But yeah,
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's the future. I
So, but
liked it
how
a
do
long
you
time
make
ago. It's
like
just
a fan page on Facebook? How do you make the equivalent of that?
I can show you afterwards,
Oh, really? You can actually
unless you
do
want me to
that?
show you right now.
Yeah, sure. Show me right now, man. I mean, how hard can it be?
It's not that hard at all. So you go to home, you go to your side home bar on
Uh
the
huh.
left, and then I think you go to pages. I actually haven't done one with this new layout, and I hope this works.
Create a page. Oh
And
my
then
god.
create a page. It's like that simple.
Wow, this is awesome. Product or brand. I always hate selecting the category because there isn't something good. I'm not
And
games
that,
and toys, dude. Like, come on. You know, I'm a website. There you go.
but yeah, I liked it because I can link, because I blog about my trades I do every day, and Google owns Blogger, so it's pretty integrated as far as like displaying all my Google stuff on Blogger, but also being pretty good at when I post a new blog, it automatically pops up with a post to Google Plus. So it's pretty nice how everything, because everything Google owns so many things, it's just naturally connected to everything, which makes once you get used to it, it makes stuff a lot easier.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Like I see your, or I feel like you're typing away, making your page right now.
I am 10 words that describe my page. Oh, I'll just take the one that from iTunes that I did. Let's see here. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect.
But yeah, then you can share with people and everything. And
Wow, look, I
even
have a
though
page.
even though Google Plus isn't as big as Facebook yet, I feel like it's one of those things that is just going to keep evolving.
How do I
Like
link people to my page?
you can, I know you can do hashtags. You can like you can set the owner to the page and everything, and then
Wow.
I'm pretty sure you can link anything Google owns. I'm pretty sure you can like link back to your Google Plus somehow.
This is amazing. I just verified my email. Josh, this is cool. All right, everybody, find me on Google Plus.
Find me on Google Plus.
I'm here now. I'll start updating it sometime soon. That's cool, man. So, wow, Josh, a great news report. We got stomped again because our teammates left us. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna play at least one more here. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Josh, any last thoughts for us?
Good luck in the lottery.
Oh, the lottery.
Maybe one of the people watching will win.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
And the
If you-
Bio DeLorean.
Yes, please, please. All right, take care, everybody.